that self-deception, that part of you that makes you feel like YOLO. Hey, man, I only live once anyhow. So, busting one nut is not gonna kill me. Fuck this shit. I only have one life to live, man. I'm not gonna suffer holding on to this thing and trying to go through all this pain. Fuck this shit, man. I'm gonna bust this nut. That's self-deception. That's your mind seeking to get the best of you. It is true that YOLO. It is true, but it's also true that your mind just got the best of you. What about, human beings are always trying to do things hard, no fap, semen retention, you don't have, ain't nobody gonna die if you have you bust one nut. No, nobody's gonna die. It's just like you're just gonna remain mediocre. It's just your life is just gonna remain just the way it is, mediocre. You're just gonna remain stupid. You just won't have anything of value to give. You just won't experience joy, happiness, true fulfillment. You just won't be elevated. That's all it is. You will remain where you are. The hardest trap for you to exit will be your self-deception on this journey. It will be your self-deception. It will be when your mind tells you something and you genuinely evaluating it and evaluating your capacity to resist and then making the right decision. That's going to be the biggest trap for you to get out of. That's going to be the biggest prison for you to escape from, my friend. You are on the right path. You are on the right journey. The journey of self-discovery, the journey of self-love, the journey of self-empowerment. Stay on this journey. If you relapse, man, we need compassion. Now, not that you should relapse because we need compassion. I know there's a fine line between self-love and self-deception. There's a fine line because I know individuals, and I've had to awaken to that fact. I've had to work with my ego in my self-development journey to know the difference between when I'm bullshitting myself and when I'm genuinely weak and genuinely can't do something, right? And sometimes we can fall, but it wasn't genuine. We could have pushed through. We could have held back. We could have kept going. But because our ego is so entangled in self-deception, it's like we say, oh fuck, this hard, I'm just gonna bust a nut. It's not my fault anyway. This shit is hard. Right, it's hard. But in that moment when you busted the nut, you did not even put in work. You did not even resist 50% of your resistance capacity. You didn't even use 50% of your willpower or of your capacity to resist. You didn't even leave the house. You didn't even take a cold shower. You didn't even call a friend. You didn't even go to the gym. You didn't even go do some other work. You didn't even do anything. You just lay in bed with the urges, jerks off, and then now you're saying, oh, it's hard for everybody. It was really hard. I couldn't fall asleep, and so I jerked off. It's true that it's hard, but let's talk about you in that particular moment. How hard was it for you? Did you exhaust all your options in resisting? You know what I've done, my friend? You know what I've had to do? I've had to leave my house and spend the whole night on the road, driving, staying in businesses' parking lots, that like Walmart was a big one. Going inside of Walmart, just keep walking around and going in my car and stay in the parking lot until the break of dawn. Until dawn in the morning, because my laptop was home and I lived by myself, and I knew for that particular day, and it was more than one day, but I knew for that particular day, if I only opened my door and went inside, I would have lost the battle. I knew I would lose the battle. And so for that one day, I declared war. I said, this is war, baby. We're going to war. I'm not going home tonight. I'm not going home for the night. You have to understand that was using the full capacity of my resistance and willpower. You understand? That was using everything that I knew. And I remember this one famous night, I took a cold shower for a long, like I stayed under the water for a very long time. It could have been two or 3 minutes. It still wasn't enough. And I left the house and I drove to another city and stayed in that city for the whole night. I couldn't go home. I mean, I could, but I knew going home meant me losing the battle for that night, because resisting on that specific day, like Jacko, right? Like Jacko says, the day that you don't feel like it, the day that the temptation is strongest, is the day that you have to press the most. Because if you give in that day, it sets a new record of your mind against you. It's a battle won against you. So there is a fine line between true battle, true something being hard, and our own self-deception. And this is what makes this journey much harder, even more harder. That self-deception, that part of you that makes you feel like, hey, it's been 40 days anyway. It's not like, I got one life to live. YOLO, so what? I just busted nut. Nothing is going to happen. Those voices are going around your head. And they are voices, they're using axioms that you've heard in society. They're using ideas you've heard in society. Like one of them might be YOLO. Hey, man, I only live once anyhow. So, busting one nut is not gonna kill me. Fuck this shit. I only have one life to live, man. I'm not gonna suffer holding on to this thing and trying to go through all this pain. Fuck this shit, man. I'm gonna bust this nut.
First, if you are new to my channel, consider subscribing. I have nothing but practical insights and information for you if you are getting on NoFap and semen retention. If you browse my channel, I guarantee you will find videos that will help you on any stage that you may be on this journey, because I covered this journey entirely, because this journey is really made up of 3 stages, and I have covered all of the 3 stages. So do yourself a favor, subscribe, and also check my link for Patreon for a coaching opportunity with me. The guys that I have been coaching, their lives are being changed and expanded daily. Daily. So you could be one of them. If you're ready, I'm ready. Because I am excited and thrilled to help my brothers to become alive, dynamic, present, jovial, free as I am.
That's self-deception. That's your mind seeking to get the best of you. It is true that YOLO. It is true, but it's also true that your mind just got the best of you. What about, human beings are always trying to do things hard, no fap, semen retention, you don't have, ain't nobody gonna die if you bust one nut. No, nobody's gonna die. It's just like you're just gonna remain mediocre. It's just your life is just gonna remain just the way it is, mediocre. You're just gonna remain stupid. You just won't have anything of value to give. You just won't experience joy, happiness, true fulfillment. You just won't be elevated. That's all it is. You will remain where you are. And so I've been told by guys before, man, YOLO. Man, just quit complicating life, y'all. Quit making life so hard. Y'all want to go out there and stay several months without busting a nut for what? You were created to have sex, and now they're giving me a whole lecture on you were created to have sex. Man, every once in a while, it's healthy for you. God is going to be mad at you for not having, so there's a fine line between self-deception and truth or reality of things, and self-deception. I have a book here on that. In fact, I had several, and I've given a few to clients who needed them. It's on self-deception as it relates to addiction, because the hardest trap for you to exit will be your self-deception on this journey. It will be your self-deception. It will be when your mind tells you something and you genuinely evaluating it and evaluating your capacity to resist and then making the right decision. That's going to be the biggest trap for you to get out of. That's going to be the biggest prison for you to escape from, my friend. Your own self-deception. The voices that you hear are going to be the hardest wall to take down. It's going to be the strongest barrier holding you back on this journey. When your mind says, you're going to wake up one day on semen retention, I guarantee you it's going to happen. You will wake up one day on semen retention and your mind is going to hear. You're going to hear in your mind. So you mean to tell me you're going to sit here, hold your semen, not have sex, your balls are hurting, and you're going through all this pain for what? For what, man? And your mind is going to ask you for a reason, right? As if you're required to give a reason. For what? Man, you have one life to live, man. Everybody's living their life. You're not gonna die. Why are you doing all this? Why are you making yourself suffer like that? It's like, for example, the same conversation that the serpent, talking about the Holy Bible, Judeo-Christian, Christianity. It's like the serpent talking to Eve. Oh, come on, man. Did God really say not to eat from this fruit? You think if you eat from it, something is going to happen to you? Come on now. Let's not kid around, man. You have one life to live. Look at you, Eve. You're so beautiful. I mean, can this hurt you? Can just eating a little fruit hurt you? Now we know, it's not a literal fruit, but it's the reasoning. It's the reasoning capacity of your unconscious, subconscious mind. The deceiver, the thief. Your mind is the trickster. Your mind is your biggest deceiver. Your mind is the biggest liar you will ever know in your life. The biggest trickster, the biggest cheater, deceiver you will ever know in your life. I hope that you can awaken to that fact, to realize that you contain the whole world of lies and self-deception within you. And to the extent you can master that, to the extent you can capitalize on that, will be to the extent you have freedom in this life. And that freedom is going to allow you to impact people, because you'll be able to speak truth and people will know that it's true what you're saying, because you tell them your experiences, and they will know it's true because you know it. And the way you're explaining it is different than if you just read it from a book, but it's something that you actually experienced, you've gone through. And I like to tell my experience on this journey. And I don't come here and try to say something that I've read or heard from someone. And if I do quote someone, I will give them credit, because well, I mean, we don't want to plagiarize. Of course, I still have that residue left over from college. You have to give credit. You have to do your bibliography. You have to do your citations because man, my work used to be beautiful. So I'm not going to leave a citation out only for my work to get a ding because I forgot to cite a reference or a source, or I forgot to give proper credit to whom it is due. So these bits of wisdom come from my life, friend. They come from my own life experience. I've been through it. I've been to hell and back, and it was a nice journey. It wasn't a beautiful journey because I have something to share. I have something to give.